All right, let's dive right in. We're about to break down a piece of industrial tech that is, believe it or not, absolutely critical. It's not flashy, it's not glamorous, but without it, well, a lot of things we take for granted, from cars to groceries, would literally grind to a halt.
So, what is this unsung hero? It's not some advanced robot or a complicated AI. Nope. It's a special kind of chain that makes sure everything, and I mean everything, from car parts on an assembly line to your food packages, is positioned with pinpoint accuracy. We are, of course, talking about sharp top chains. So what it really boils down to is this. A sharp top chain is designed to do one thing incredibly well, and that's grip. You see those pointed top surfaces? They're engineered to grab onto a product and hold it tight. This means zero slippage, especially on an incline, and it guarantees the kind of precise placement that modern automation absolutely demands.
And this is really where you see why they're so special. You know, a standard flat top chain lets products kind of slide around and bunch up, which is sometimes what you want. But a sharp top chain, it does the exact opposite. It's all about total positive control. Think of it like this. It's the difference between a flat moving walkway at the airport and a stepped escalator. One lets you shuffle around, the other locks you into a precise spot.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this buyer's journey together. We'll start with the basics, then get into the nitty-gritty of picking the right chain. After that, we'll take a look at the global market, cover some super practical tips for installation, and then we'll peek into the future.
All right, let's kick things off with the fundamentals. We know they grip, we know they're precise, but where does that grip actually make a difference? Well, it turns out it's in some of the most demanding industries you can imagine. Honestly, their versatility is just incredible. In the food industry, they keep packages from sliding around on wet filling lines. In automotive, they hold a massive car body in the exact position for a robot to paint it perfectly. In pharma, you've got special stainless steel versions that meet super strict cleanroom standards. And in logistics, they're the backbone of those crazy fast automated sorting systems.
Okay, so we've got a handle on what they are. But now for the big question. How do you choose the right one? This is where we roll up our sleeves and get into the engineering, matching the chain specs to the specific job you need it to do.
So what you're looking at here is a classic engineering trade-off. As you go down the list, the pitch, that's the distance between the pins, gets bigger. A bigger pitch usually means more tensile strength, so it can pull heavier stuff. But, and here's the trade-off, look at the max speed. It goes down. So you're always balancing strength against speed.
Just as important is the environment where the chain lives. For most normal, dry situations, carbon steel is your go-to workhorse. You'll get over 15,000 hours of life out of it. But the second you introduce harsh chemicals or frequent washdowns, like in food processing, you have to switch to stainless steel. And if you're dealing with really abrasive materials, you can even specify a harder surface, measured in HRC, to make sure it lasts as long as possible.
Now listen up, because this might just be the single most important rule in this whole process. To keep things safe and make sure your chain lasts, you absolutely must use a safety factor. That means the chain's braking strength has to be at least 7 to 10 times higher than what you'll actually be asking it to pull. This isn't just some vague suggestion, it's what saves you from catastrophic failure when you have shock loads, sudden starts, or just normal wear and tear.
Okay, so you've done the engineering, you've selected the perfect chain. Awesome. Now, where do you actually buy it? Let's switch gears from the technical to the commercial side of things and talk about the global supply chain.
This chart tells a very, very clear story. The Asia-Pacific region, with China leading the charge, is really the powerhouse of production. Now, for a buyer, that means you have to be strategic. Any disruption over there can have a huge ripple effect globally. It's why diversifying your suppliers is so important. Meanwhile, you'll see Europe often focuses on those high-precision specialty chains, and North America is really strong in replacement parts and integrated automation systems. And within that market, suppliers really fall into 3 basic buckets. Tier 1, those are your big, established global brands. You pay more, but you're paying for a proven track record. Down at Tier 3, you have the volume producers. The price is tempting, for sure, but the quality can be a bit of a gamble. For a lot of buyers, the sweet spot is right there in Tier 2. Those regional specialists, often in China, who offer a really great balance of solid quality and a competitive price.
And this quote just nails it. It's the core idea of smart procurement. See, a cheap chain that breaks down can easily cause tens of thousands of dollars in lost production time. Suddenly, that initial saving is completely gone. That's why the number that really matters isn't the price tag, it's the total cost of ownership, or TCO.
So, how do you avoid getting burned, especially when you're dealing with a supplier halfway around the world? You have to have a clear vetting process. Don't just trust the brochure. Audit their factory, either yourself or with a third party. Actually call up the certifying body to verify their ISO certification. And this is crucial. Get samples in your hands and test them yourself. Check the material, check the dimensions, trust but verify.
All right, you've sourced your chain, it's arrived. Now it's time to put that investment to work. And believe me, proper installation and maintenance are what will unlock that long service life everyone promises.
A great installation is all about precision. I mean, look at step 2. Your sprockets need to be aligned to within 0.3 millimeters. That is incredibly precise. In step 5, tensioning. It isn't just about yanking it tight. It's about getting the perfect amount of sag, usually about 15 to 25 millimeters for every meter of chain. That little bit of slack is what allows it to work properly and distribute the load.
And once it's running, a simple, consistent maintenance routine is your best friend. Daily checks are easy, just a quick look and listen. Weekly, you clean things up and add lube. But that monthly check, that's the one that really saves you money. You have to measure how much the chain has stretched. Once it gets to about 2 or 3% longer than it was new, it's time to replace it. Waiting longer just invites failure.
Okay, finally, let's look ahead for a minute. You might think a chain is just a chain, but this technology is not standing still. It's actually getting a whole lot smarter and more sustainable. And this is where things get really cool. We're talking about Industry 4.0. By putting tiny sensors right into the chain links, you can monitor things like tension and vibration in real time. This lets you move from just preventing problems to actually predicting them. And adding RFID tags gives you this incredible ability to track and trace products, which is a total game changer for industries like pharma. And of course, sustainability is a huge focus now. For chains, that means a few things. It means designing them with low-friction materials so they use less energy. It means making them last longer so we create less waste. And it means designing them so that at the end of their life, that high-quality steel can be almost 100% recycled. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that a sharp top chain is so much more than just a component you order from a catalog. When you really think about its impact on your precision, your efficiency, and your uptime, it becomes a central part of your entire operational strategy. So the only question left is, are you ready to optimize it? Thanks for watching.